First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liu-Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to the 16 Dharma King Karmapa. And to Master Tupten Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of the group practice. Namo, the merciful and compassionate Lokeswara Bodhisattva. Sumu, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, all disciples present here and over the internet. And our special guest today from the Republic of Taiwan, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, North American Coordination Council Secretary General Daniel Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy. Accountant to the True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa. Producers for the Geni Diansang Shinten of CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi. And Dr. Lin. And Dr. Ryan Zhuang. As we all know that tonight, this evening, we practice Lokeswara Bodhisattva as the main deity. And Lokeswara has many manifestations and emanations. In the Universal Gate Sutra, we can read that our Lokeswara will emanate as whatever you are to salvage, to provide the salvation. That in the 6 rebirth realms, Lokeswara's emanations exist in all 6 rebirth realms. And in the earliest time, Lokeswara Bodhisattva was also a Buddha and was named Zhengfa Tathagata, is meaning the true Dharma light, and then emanated as Lokeswara Bodhisattva. There are many emanations, from the 1,000 eyes, 1,000 arms Kuan Yin, to the white robe Kuan Yin, to the dragon riding Kuan Yin, and lion riding Kuan Yin, and dragon riding Kuan Yin, and also a fish and some kind of legendary animal. So she has many emanations, including the child-giving Kuan Yin. Many Kuan Yin Bodhisattvas, Kuan Yin or Lokeswara. We often say about 50 emanations, but actually there are myriad, thousands, millions of them. When Buddhism spread to China, in each household there would be Amitabha, and in each home there would be Kuan Yin. would offer to Guan Yin Bodhisattva. So she is very compassionate and has a very deep affinity with beings. So from the tears of Guan Yin Bodhisattva, green Tara was emanated, and the 21 Taras, and also white Tara was emanated from Guan Yin Bodhisattva in her compassion toward all beings. So we could say that Lokeswara or Guan Yin is number one in compassion. Did I say how do you do earlier? Right? So good evening, everyone. In Cantonese. Thank you also to Guan Yin Bodhisattva. Thank you to Guan Yin Bodhisattva. And this evening, in performing the 9th cycle Buddha breathing, entering into Samadhi, Guan Yin Bodhisattva was very compassionate. She descended and shone light upon us. So Guan Yin Bodhisattva also has its wrathful emanation, which is Hayagriva. Hayagriva. Then tomorrow at the Rainbow Temple, we will perform the Homa for Hayagriva. So Hayagriva is the wrathful manifestation of Lokeswara. So they're the calm or peaceful form for those who are soft-hearted. Like when we see the compassionate Lokeswara, we would have great faith in her. But those who are stubborn and very obstinate, we need the wrathful manifestation that could use great power to subdue or to tame these people. So that's the form of the radiant king or wisdom king. So the compassionate deity is to salvage the softer kind of sentient beings, and the wrathful manifestation is to salvage the obstinate, the fierce beings. And Mahakala, the 6-armed Mahakala, is also an emanation of Guan Yin Bodhisattva. And in Tibet, in the whole of Tibet, is the spiritual place for Lokeswara or Chenresik in Tibetan. And the manifestation there is the 4-armed Chenresik or Lokeswara. The 2 arms at the center is holding a wish-fulfilling jewel or mani jewel. Mani, moni, meaning wish-granting. And the other 2 arms, one hand is holding a lotus blossom, and the other hand is holding a chanting beads, mala. And in Tibet, that's the popular manifestation of Guan Yin Chenresik. So Guan Yin Bodhisattva are salvaging sentient beings, many of them. So we give her the epithet Namo, the greatly merciful and compassionate and greatly responsive Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And the first time Buddhism spread into China, it was during the East Han dynasty. At that time, when it entered into China, during Tang dynasty, so Han was before Tang. Tang, Song, Yan, Ming, Qing, and then the People's Republic of China are the different dynasties in China. And above it, the Sui dynasty, and then Han dynasty, East Han and Western Han dynasties. So during the Eastern Han dynasty, Buddhism already entered into China. And then later on in Tang dynasty, in Chinese, was called Guan Si Yin, became Guan Yin. There was during the reign of Tang Taizong, Li Siming. When he was emperor in the Tang dynasty, the name Guan Si Yin, and it's the same as the name of the emperor Li Siming, the same Si. So the bodhisattva should avoid conflict with the name of the emperor, so the name Guan Si Yin becomes Guan Yin. It should have been the king who changed his name, but instead it was the bodhisattva whose name was changed. When a human being became an emperor, he thought that he was the greatest under heavens, that he could even change the name of a bodhisattva. And this emperor, Li Siming, died soon afterwards. No matter how great you are as a human being, you would die. And today we changed the name back to Guan Si Yin Bodhisattva, Guan Si Yin Pusa. Now let's continue on the Great Perfection Dharma. The receiving the heart seal of the Tathagata by the blessing on the head by Sakyamuni Buddha, and then to be entrusted with the Great Perfection Dharma. And remember at that time, in the Saha world, one time I met with Sakyamuni Buddha, and I was living. There was called the Jinghua Hotel, Jinghua Hotel. Now has changed name. The hotel there in Taichung. And one evening, one night, I travel, my soul traveled out of body, and I went to Taipei, from Taichung to Taipei, and I saw Sakyamuni Buddha, and he was wearing a suit, a Western suit, but doesn't matter how he changed his look. Grandmaster still recognized him. So I wrote this piece, and many other Buddhists found it to be nonsense. How could Sakyamuni Buddha wear a suit? But when I met with Sakyamuni Buddha, we met at the coffee shop in Ximending in Taipei. And Buddha Sakyamuni ordered a cup of coffee, and he was not afraid to be influenced by the caffeine, but I had to drink a decaf coffee. So even when I travel out of body, I still know that drinking coffee would make me unable to sleep. One time, Master Lien Pao's father and I were in a restaurant when we were in America, and I drank a cup of coffee, a cup of cappuccino, a very small cup, very good. And I drank 3 cups because it was really delicious. And then, laying in bed, I was just looking up at the ceiling. So I thought the first night like that, and then the second night I should have fallen asleep. But on the second night I was still looking up at the ceiling all night, and also the third night. And I was about to lose my mind, because if you don't sleep for 3 consecutive nights, you would lose your mind. But on the 4th night, I was so tired, so I fell asleep. So I couldn't drink coffee nor tea. Because on an airplane, the stewardess would always ask coffee or tea, and I would say no, just cold water. I couldn't drink any caffeine, no tea, no coffee. So when I met with Sakyamuni Buddha, Buddha asked, so how do you find your life? And I said, not good. Because I have just gone public, and I was being criticized and defamed and slandered all over the place. And Sakyamuni Buddha said, it's the same when I was living in the Saha world. It was a really notorious reputation. It was really bad. At that time, there was the deviant paths, the 6 great masters of the deviant paths attacked the Buddha and his Sangha. And there were also 2 women called Sundoli and Chancha who attacked Sakyamuni Buddha. And I said, oh, maybe my faith would be the same as the Buddha. And he said, yes, about the same. Anyone that is famous in the world to salvage sentient beings would be attacked a lot and thrown a lot of rocks. But Sakyamuni Buddha said, don't worry. Let me confirm you, giving you a heart seal of the Tathagata, that you will attain Buddhahood. And there was a white sheet of paper at the coffee shop, and he took a pen out of his suit and wrote, the Great Light Self-Mastery Buddha. But I thought at that time, the great light Buddha, that's too huge, enormous. No, that's not a good name. This Da or great, not so good. Can you change it? Because if you call yourself great, I would be attacked even more. But I cannot call myself the little light self-mastery Buddha. You know, Master Lien Yin's original name is Xiao Guang, it's little light. It sounds like little light, but actually it's a different kind of Xiao, meaning the light of the dawn. No, I cannot have this name because it would be the same as the name of my disciple. So Sakyamuni Buddha changed the name of Da, great, to become like the Chinese Hua or flower, meaning flower or lotus. And I found this to be acceptable. This is so. Just the lotus light. But the great light Buddha, do you know who that is? Actually, the great light Buddha is Amitabha Buddha. The infinite light Buddha is Amitabha Buddha. The infinite life Buddha is also Amitabha Buddha. The great light Buddha too. So if you read Amitabha Sutra, you can read them all in there. The great light Buddha. At that time, I did not know that was an epithet of Amitabha Buddha. But finally, Sakyamuni Buddha changed it to Lotus Light Self-Mastery Buddha. And you know the name Hua Guang or the Lotus Light is also the epithet for Sariputra. That when Sariputra attained Buddhahood and become a Buddha, his name would be the Lotus Light Buddha. So the epithet that Sakyamuni Buddha bestow on you is actually still related, because Sariputra was my past life and Amitabha Buddha was also my origin. So the epithet, the name, the Great Light Buddha was correct, was proper, because I am an emanation of Amitabha Buddha. But changing it to Lotus Light Buddha, Hua Guang, for the 3,000 future Buddhas, the first Buddha would be Sariputra, attaining Buddhahood and named the Lotus Light Buddha. So the first Buddha of the 1,000 Buddhas is Lotus Light Buddha, and the other leader of the 1,000 Buddhas is Maitreya Buddha. And then another leader of 1,000 Buddha is Lo-Zi Buddha, which is the Dharma protector Wei-To or Sangharama. So the one who truly received the heart seal of the Tathagata is Grandmaster. So at the same time, the wisdom would appear. Like eating a fruit, all you need to do is to pick it. That today, anyone taking refuge in me, my disciples are all Dharma princes, and they are destined to attain the Supreme Bodhi. So whether you are a beginner or old-timer practicing tantric dharma, you need to be careful to discern whether a Vajra master is an authentic one. And by relying on an authentic Vajra master, you would walk on the right path and attain the fruition of realization. In China,
读 这个是中国的文字，叫读。读的意思就是小牛啊，刚刚出生的牛啊，或者小牛啊，都叫做读。
So a newly born calf.
小兔子叫什么呢？还有小乌龟叫什么呢？
And then the little, like the newly born rabbits or newly born turtle, what do they call?
有智慧的回答是这样子。
So this is a really wise answer. Oh, this is only in Chinese.
这个智慧的问答哈，这个阴间跟阳间的中间是在哪里？
So between the world of the living and the world of the death, where would that be?
阴间跟阳间的中间，你躺着的时候还没有到阴间去的时候，是在太平间呢。这个我们人呐，放这个烟火
in the middle between.
上升啊
I don't know.
为什么不会射到星星呢？
When we lit fireworks, why doesn't it hit the stars? Oh, this is also play of words of Chinese, because the stars can duck, but the word for duck is also twinkle.
中华民国或中华人民共和国的文化源远流长，5000年的历史。
This is a riddle on Chinese words.
唐代是有诗唐诗嘛，所谓唐诗300首。
There's poems during Tang Dynasty, and during Song Dynasty there are verses, and during the Yuan Dynasty there are songs, and during the Qing Dynasty there are novels. And for the Republic period, there will be references. This is only funny in Chinese.
这里也有一个智慧的问题，一个离过很多次婚的女人，该怎么称呼她？
A woman who has been divorced many times, what do you call her?
一个成语，它叫前功尽弃。前功尽弃。我觉得我们学佛以后这个智慧会产生出来。
After studying Buddhism, we would generate wisdom, but it's not the typical, the streetwise wisdom, but it's the wisdom of the Tathagata, the wisdom of the Buddhas, of the Bodhisattvas. That's the infinite wisdom, and the heart is wide open. It's boundless, expansive, vast. Only when you have the vast heart that you would have a boundless wisdom. If your heart is very narrow, then you would be stubborn, obstinate, you would be obsessed and have hang-ups. But if you have a wide open heart, then you can tolerate and embrace everything. In studying Buddhism, you have to have a wider and wider heart, not narrow and narrow. So the wisdom of the Tathagata is infinite, boundless wisdom. It's really vast. In order to receive the empowerments or blessings from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, it would enter as soon as you open your hearts. Or if you have too much stuff in your heart, then it's impossible for you to receive blessings. You need to know how to throw away all the garbages from your heart in order for the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to enter into your heart. If you have bad thoughts in your heart, it would be extremely difficult for the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to have spiritual response with you. So in order to receive the heart seal of Sakyamuni Buddha, you have to have a heart like Sakyamuni Buddhas. If you could feel that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas enter into your body, your heart has to be pure so that they could enter into you, so that you can gain yogic or spiritual response with them. So the best way is to have pure body, pure speech, and pure mind. And mind is the same as heart. So pure body, pure speech, and pure mind. Mind representing the heart. This is really important. If you have a narrow mind, that would be impossible. You have hang-ups over certain things, then how could you gain spiritual response with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas? So you need to open yourself. And you're not affected with anything. You're not affected by anything. Only this time Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would be able to descend upon your body. And only this way you would be able to receive the heart seal of the Tathagata. Like eating a fruit. All you need to do is to pick it. Tang, the monk, Tang San Zhang. He decided to go to the West to obtain sutras and wanted to go there faster, and collected his 3 disciples. And the monkey king said, the high-speed rail is very fast. That would be much faster than riding on a horse. And the precept pig said, you know, the plane would be faster. And it's good to ride on the plane. And then we got even free meals on the plane. And the monk said, that makes sense. And the third, Lu-Ling said, he took a gun and said, Guru, I heard that this thing can send someone off to the West, the Western paradise. So, do you want to try? So the West, it refers to ancient India, going to the West, but West also meaning Western paradise. So in the ancient time, they have to ride on a horse to go to the Western region, and then go to India, and then obtain the Buddhist sutras and brought back to China. And the first one who brought it back to China using a white horse That's why the first temple built in China was called the White Horse Temple. There are many temples called the White Horse Temples in China. There were 2 monks from India. They are called Janathan and Tufani. So 2 Indian monks that rode on a horse brought Buddhist sutras to China. These days, sutras are everywhere. In the ancient time, obtaining Buddhist sutras is extremely difficult. But now, you can go to the library, or you can just get it from the computer, your cell phones, your iPad. You know, the sutras on ethics, on discourses. And the Tripitaka, the 12 divisions of the baskets, they're all everywhere. We don't need to go to India. And these days, the sutras don't exist anymore in India. But they went to Sri Lanka and the Southeast Asia for Hinayana teachings. And for Mahayana teachings spread to China and Korea and Japan. And Tibet. These are most common. And to Taiwan, there will be Taiwanese Tantrayana. And our Buddha school is Taiwanese Tantrayana. So including all the protectors of Taiwan, like the Celestial Mother Mazu and the Earth Goddess, they all became tantric gods. So today, reading sutras are just like eating a piece of fruit. So in order to get the wisdom of the Tathagata, all you need to do is to pick it from the sutras. So sutras, which is the discourses spoken by the Buddha, and then the ethics or precepts, and then the discussions were written by the later knowledgeable ones. The ones truly spoken by the Buddha are the sutras, and the precepts, and then the other division would be the explanations or discussions written by later people. So in China, there were no Buddhist sutras, so they used Taoist concepts to explain Buddhism in China. But nowadays, to get sutras, it's just like eating a fruit. All you need to do is to pick it. So all of Grandmaster's disciples are Dharma princes. Because the most authentic one is the lineage. Great Perfection Dharma is very real. So at that time, Guru Padmasambhava hid the Great Perfection Dharma inside Grandmaster's brain. And I have written about this Great Perfection Dharma long ago. Oh, this is the second revision in '94. but it was first published even earlier than that. This is a Taiwanese year, 11 years difference. So now it's 103rd Taiwanese year. Taiwan has its own year. So it was first written in the Taiwanese year 74, so that's the same as 1985. That's 29 years ago, almost 30 years ago, when I wrote about Great Perfection Dharma, 30 years ago. So this proved that Guru Padmasambhava was also a manifestation of Amitabha Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha, and Lokeswara Bodhisattva, the union of these three deities. So Guru Padmasambhava appeared is the same as the heart seal as the Tathagata and hid it inside my brain. So it's all there. So writing it is like taking it out from my brain. So because Guru Padmasambhava was here at Grandmaster, so you must be the Dharma princess. And you're destined to have the attainment of the supreme body. So whether a beginner or old-timer practitioners practicing Tantric Dharma, you need to carefully discern who is a true and authentic Vajra master. And by relying on him, you would walk on the right path and have the attainment. There is a fruition that's called the non-arising endurance or patience. You can endure anything. If a person can do that, then this person must be no mind, has no mind. This endurance in Chinese character is like a knife, a stab on a heart. Of course, when a knife is stabbed onto the earth, it's okay. But when the knife is stabbed onto your heart, could you endure it? So when you endure the impossibly to endure, it's when it doesn't arise at all. So to reach this realm, you have no mind, which means you have no thoughts whatsoever. And you have no feelings whatsoever. This is even higher with the single-mindedness. So there is no realizations or no feelings, no sensations whatsoever. And this is the realm of no mind, the realm of non-arising. When you attain the wisdom of non-arising and no mind, then you would reach the realm of non-arising endurance, and that would be a fruition. Most people cannot endure the insults of other people. If you're insulted, then you cannot sleep, cannot fall asleep at night. Say if you come to the group practice and you saw a fellow disciple and glancing sideward, then you would feel bad. And you would think, what happened? Why? Or if someone did that, what have I done? You would think. Then you cannot fall asleep at night. You can't endure it. Such an insult. It's a simple matter. If everybody ignores him or her, that's also a kind of insult. The Seattle Lechang Temple is free for all. Doesn't matter who comes and goes. Nobody cares. If there's an unfamiliar person or new person, nobody cares. The person in charge of the temple, if someone walks in, they just take a quick look and then continue reading his or her book. You should tell them, oh, there's an incense here and this is the lighter. Are you new? Is this your first time here? Are you coming here for specific purposes? What's your name? Where do you live? That. You need to tell them which books are free and which books they can buy, and tell them about the temple, the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or if they're curious about a deity, then you can make introduction to them. Because we have many deities at the temple, they may not recognize all of them. So that's the duty of the person taking care of the temple. You don't just let them come and let them go as they like. Because we are delivering sentient beings. At the Tantric quarter, I could see people walking by at the temple. And if I see someone new, I ask everyone and nobody knows. It happens often. So, as if I'm asking blind people, I do my own practice and don't care about anybody else. But we need to guide them to walk through the Dharma gate, because every one of them would be a Dharma prince. If you just care for yourself, then you would become the Arhat of Hinayana. If you also help others, you would become the Bodhisattva of Mahayana. If it is dinner time, you can invite them to join us for dinner at our dining hall in the library. That's important. Not like my guru, Master Tupten Tarji. He walked around for a long time and nobody recognized him, and everybody ignored him. Everybody just ignore. They don't care, let them be. No one greeted him. And he walked up and down and around the temple, and he didn't even get a cup of water. And this is the temple of Lu Shengyan, Shengyan Lu. and nobody came out to greet him. And finally, Master Lian Wang came out, and he showed him, look at this photo. And it was a photo of I am bowing to Master Tupten Tarji, and then he immediately bowed because he is the guru of his guru. Nobody greeted him. I often told this story. There was a rich man that I attracted him to enter into the cultivation path, and he was one of the 10 top businessmen in Taiwan. And he dressed very casually, and he walked into the Taiwan Lichang temple, and he saw there were rust on the steel rods there because the temple was not built in completion. So he noticed that there was not enough money to complete the building of the temple. That's why the steel rods and foundations were rusting. And so he wanted to make donation to the temple. So he walked into the Dharma shop, and he wanted to buy Grandmaster's books. And to a nun, he called her, "Oh, Dharma sister, I want to buy Sang Yen Lu's books." And the nun replied, "How could you call me a Dharma sister? I'm a Dharma teacher." And he responded, "Oh, sorry. Okay, Dharma teacher. Where are Sang Yen Lu's books? Over there. Take a look yourself." So he did take a look, and wanting to buy some books. And the nun told this billionaire that I delivered, and she said, "It's time for lunch. I want to go for lunch." And he said, "Oh, then what happened? Why don't you come back later? Come back another day." And then she left and ate lunch. And he was left alone. He wasn't sure whether to buy the books or not or what. So he got on his car and left. And this person was one of the top businessmen in Taiwan, was a billionaire, did not have any faith in me anymore. That's why it's very important. We also have a billionaire here. You may not know him or her, but we have them here. You don't know who that is, and I will not tell you. Otherwise, many masters would ask for donation. We need to see clearly and observe who is the authentic Vajra master. There are some Vajra acharyas are just so-so, but there are some who are practicing, really practicing, and some gain enlightenment. But some Vajra masters are very narrow-minded. Some are territorial, meaning that this is my territory, nobody else can touch it. This is my cake. Who dare to touch it? Then I would slap it using the power palm of Shaolin temple.
大力金刚掌就飞出去了，把它逐出我们的地盘之外，还有争地盘的上面。
Kick them off the territory. And there's some territorial masters that say, this temple is mine, and this other chapter is also my territory. Whoever Dharma propagator entering into my territory would be kicked out. But you should have wide open mind and heart, infinite, boundless. And Buddhas with wisdom eyes would be able to see the true Vajra master. So as spiritual cultivators, please remember, you need to rely on the very widely open heart, very compassionate, and comprehending all the Dharma, and have received infinite empowerments. So with wide open heart, knowing all Dharma, and truly compassionate, so you could only rely upon such Vajra masters. So one day, if I leave the world or enter into nirvana, you need to have the wisdom eyes to discern who are the authentic or true Vajra master and rely on him. Only then you would be able to attain the true attainment. And the Vajra master has to be practicing every single day, has to be making progress every single day. Only this kind of Vajra master is a true Vajra master. And they have to be to have strong commitment in spiritual cultivation. If Grandmaster doesn't recognize him to be a Rinpoche or to be a lineage holder or to be a first-rate master, they feel displeased and leave. Then if you rely on such masters, then you're really in a bad luck. There are many masters who leave True Buddha school. If you follow him, then he had strung your wallets and took all your money, and then he left True Buddha school and you cannot go after him anymore. So if we donate to a building of a temple, but the temple was under his personal name, so all of our helps. So Grandmaster's wallet is shrinking or bleeding. Your wallets were also bleeding. That's why you need to recognize an authentic master. Grandmaster actually knows, but Grandmaster, in order for him to stay committed in the spiritual cultivation, and sometimes still cannot help it. It's very strange in this human world. When Grandmaster take something from someone, would help that person as much as he can. If someone make an offering, I would wholeheartedly help them back. But these people, they take and then ran away. And you cannot go after them because everything is under their name legally. If this kind of person is still a Vajra master, how could he or she become a Buddha? So the Sangha of Sakyamuni Buddha was also the same. Don't think that some Sangha don't have people who leave. I have seen a lot. The hearts of human beings can change, but only the hearts of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas stay. And that kind of boundless, unchanged heart is called the true heart or the true mind. Only then you would be able to attain fruition, the fruition of the non-arising endurance. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.